Why did I leave my previous brokerage when we were there for about 11 or 12 years and come over to eXp Realty? Hi, my name is Brian Stevens and I'm with the Realtors of Faith here at eXp Realty. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope this video provides value to you. And if you're thinking about making a brokerage switch, I would ask that you would consider our brokerage because there's a lot to offer. So here's the tone for the video today. I am not going to name the name of the brokerage because it's really insignificant when it came to why we left. By the way, it was a big brokerage and it was a good brokerage. Nothing wrong with them at all. Okay, full disclosure. Still not going to tell you the name of it. There was 4 reasons that we left, and there was probably about 2 or 3 more reasons. But the 4 of the reasons that really stood out to me as I weighed this out was their fee structure was higher. So I've been in the business for about 30 years, and my business partner and I, Russ, are what they call, high producers or rainmakers, whatever you want to call it. And so we were, doing excess of 20, 25, 30 million a year production volume. Sorry, I was going to say GCI. It's not GCI. It was production volume each year, that was not combined. That was each. And so, we have a lot of experience between us. We did a lot of business, brought a lot to the company, and enjoyed our stay there. But our splits were just not that good. There's franchise fees, there's royalty fees, and some of these things capped, but it took a while to actually happen like that. And so we found that, between all the different fees we were paying, we just really didn't like that part. The thing I like about eXp Realty is you come in at an 80-20 split, $16,000 cap across the board, no matter who you are. We realized that with our other brokerage, depending on when you came in, you negotiated your deal, people would come in all the time and negotiate different splits, which honestly, I didn't really care that much about it, right? We were just thinking, what are we getting in our tenure there? And so that was one of the reasons, is the splits. Number 2 was the basic training. They had very entry-level training, good training, solid, great for new agents, by the way. But other than that, if you've been in the business, I'm going to say over 5 years, their training was really basic, and they didn't really do modern training. They weren't being up to date. They weren't recording their training. So unless you were there at the office during that time, you weren't getting trained. I'm thinking, and this was 3 years ago. I mean, where video was still pretty prominent, right? Video's everywhere now. Even 3 years ago, it was fine, but why didn't they record their training? So if I missed some kind of a training, I could watch it on a YouTube channel later or something, Facebook, but they didn't even do that. Weren't really locked in on technology. The CRM they were offering was terrible. They spent millions of dollars to try to do something to it. It never worked. We tried to build into that. It was wonky. It was horrible. Versus eXp Realty, you get your choice of 3 different CRMs. They're all fine. They're all good. What's the best CRM? The one you use. So, but the technology was just not at this company, nor is it really still to any great level. And so we just thought, the training was just kind of mid, as some of the teenagers would say. It was kind of average. Wasn't that good. And we saw where we were wanting more. I wanted more as a veteran. I want to continue to grow. I don't care how much business you're doing, whether it's 5, 10 million, 20, 30, doesn't matter. You want to continue to grow in your production, right? Always. You always want to be learning, training, growing. Always. I still, to this day, want to continue to grow and learn via podcasts, via other real estate agents at much higher production levels than me, from my coach, you name it. Always want to learn. And I just was not getting that at this brokerage. Was not at all getting it. So number 1, the fees were higher. Number 2, it was very basic training, which again was not satisfactory. Number 3, the culture was just not what we were really looking for. Nice people, friendships with any people, still to this day. Absolutely. But the culture wasn't there. Culture wasn't what we were looking for. And so I'll just kind of leave it at that. But when you've got leadership positions within brokerages, you want them to be solid leadership. You want to know that at least they're living their life right, correctly. And again, I just wanted to leave it at that because we could get into judgment here and this and that, but the culture just really wasn't what we were looking for. With eXp Realty, it's got a great culture. Our leaders are fantastic. Glenn Sanford, who owns our company, Leo, who is our CEO. It's amazing. These guys, just look up Leo at EXP. Tell me he's not putting out value-driven content to the agents in the marketplace all the time. He led the way, honestly, in the whole, when we had the change in the buyer brokerage compensation about, it's coming up on 2 years in August. He led the way in the marketplace. And I mean in the general real estate space. Guy's a leader. He was an agent. He was a team leader. Tons of experience, and he's been fantastic. So really believe in our leadership. And there's many more leaders, by the way, too. But just the culture is much better. Number 4, the brokerage I was at before was trying to control my commission, what I wanted to set with certain sellers, investors, builders. I remember going to lunch with one of their leaders in the company, trying to just stay discreet here. And I was giving, and I still do, I have a builder that I do business with, and I do a lot of volume with this company here locally. And so I give them a discount whenever I list their properties, because I will do a lot of business with them. And he wanted me to adjust that and said, there's a minimum at our brokerage. Minimum. I'm like, dude, do you know that I'll do over 100K in commissions with this builder alone this year? This one builder? Well, we want you to adjust it. You need to be making at least this and that. I'm like, no, you can't control my business. You're not going to rob me. I'm self-employed. I'm a 1099. What are you talking about? Literally, that happened. And it was a good conversation. It was pleasant, nice guy, still like him. But he was bringing this company, this corporate garbage to me in this conversation, trying to control my compensation. Sorry, that doesn't work. That's not happening. When you get in some of these big box brokerages, they're going to want you to set it where they want you to set it at. If you're in a brokerage like that, you need to run. Not a good topic, not a good reason, not a good thing. So kind of turned me off a little bit. Said, you're trying to control it. And, they proceeded to actually send out some emails, general speaking, about make sure you're getting this minimum brokerage. Does your company do that? I don't know. Not something I'm a part of anymore. So that was probably reason number 4. That didn't set very well. At eXp Realty, if I want to list a house for 0.5%, 1%, $500, 2, you name it, 10, I can do that. I'm independent brokerage. As long as we pay our split to our company, it's wide open. So again, I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm just saying with high volume customers, you want to take the ground of the wisdom. If they're giving you a lot of business, nothing wrong with discounting your fees. Nothing wrong with it. I'm still giving full service, by the way, but we're doing mass volume. Good business decision. The previous brokerage didn't get that mindset. They didn't get it. So those are 4 main reasons we hopped over to eXp Realty. Our former brokerage just did not push us away. It did not. It's just a lot of little things that added up over several years that we said, time to go, God bless. And we did, and we're never looking back. If you want to have a conversation about how eXp works, runs, where you're at, if you're unhappy where you are, let's have a conversation, and maybe this is the right fit. I don't know. Maybe it's not. It's worth the conversation. God bless.